Okay, so this is a no spoilers review of Star Wars: The Force Awakens, written by Alan Dean Foster, released on December 18th, 2015. I'll be making comparisons of the book with the film, but there will be no spoilers for both the film or the book. If you want to watch my spoilers review, it will be released by January 8th, 2016. If you're watching this after January 8th, then you should be able to find a link in the description for the spoilers review. Or you can also find it by clicking the cards link. It's the little white circle up here in the right hand corner. And you could click that and find a link for the spoilers review. Or you can also find a link for my playlist for all my book reviews. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about Alan Dean Foster. He wrote a few other novels, such as Splinter of the Mind's Eye, one of the earliest novels released in the Legends Expanded Universe, and also The Approaching Storm, a novel based on the Republic era from the Legends Expanded Universe. His previous Star Wars novels aren't bad, but they also don't make my favorites list. What I do find very interesting though, is that he wrote the novelization for Episode 4, A New Hope. Pretty ironic. And with all the hype that surrounded this new movie, I'm sure that getting the novelization of the film was highest priority on everybody's list.
No, I don't think so, man.
No?
It might just be you on this.
It's just me?
Yeah.
So I'm all alone?
Yeah, you might be.
Well, that's okay. I think that this is a great opportunity to pick on the casual Star Wars fan. No hating or shade, I'm just sharing my humble perspective of why being a casual Star Wars fan can suck. But I do plan to elaborate on this more in my spoilers review than on here. So let's hop right into it and start with the likes. Number 1, the book starts off giving more than the movie right from the beginning. Number 2, character development has a lot more depth. With each main character, we learn a whole lot more. For example, we find out how Leia's experiences throughout the story affect her emotionally, which is a good thing because the book does a much better job at this than Carrie Fisher. Number 3, I'm excited to find out what happens between Aftermath and Episode 7. A lot can happen in the span of 30 years. Number 4, we're exposed to new planets. And now, this is the second Star Wars film where we're not spending time on Tatooine. I think we'll just ignore the fact that Jakku is a bootleg Tatooine. And number 5, the audiobook is narrated by Mark Thompson. He's narrated lots of books, including 2 of my favorites, the Legacy series and the Fate of the Jedi series, and he's definitely my favorite of all narrators. And now for the dislikes. Number 1, this is basically A New Hope 2.0. The Legends Expanded Universe took us in a completely brand new direction, and I bet this is what all the Legends fans are saying now. I told you this was gonna happen, but nobody would listen to me. Now Star Wars is ruined. Number 2, there's kind of a lack of a lot of the species that we're familiar with in the Star Wars universe, except for some of the characters that we know from the original trilogy, like Admiral Akbar and Nien Nunb. That's interesting. I thought I'd have more dislikes based on my opinion of the movie, because that movie did have some problems. When the credits started to roll, I sat in that theater completely in shock at how poorly I thought this film was done. But then again, I think all 7 episodes are really not that great. They're entertaining, but not really that great. I mean, you won't really ever catch me calling any one of these episodes like the Citizen Kane of sci-fi films. The first thing I thought was CinemaSins is gonna have a field day with this. Then I donned my headphones and started listening to the audiobook immediately in hopes that there would be some sort of improvement. And 20 minutes later, I felt so much better. The very first chapter of the book put me at ease. So now for my verdict of the book. I think I'll give this book a B+. Even though the story is similar to A New Hope, it still leaves a door open for the next movie to go in a new direction. It also makes me really excited for all the books and comics that'll be released for the next 2 years. Of course, they'll fill in all the blanks. And honestly, I really feel bad for casual fans. You have to feel somewhat lost watching a movie. There's so many things left out. Of course, I talk about all of that a lot more in my spoilers review. But for now,